Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between Happy and Lemes. Happy spawning as the random orc player on the bottom left hand side of the map here on Concealed Hill, opening things up with an Altar of Storms and a Burrow, followed by a Barracks. Meanwhile, we're looking at Lemes opening things up with an Altar of Kings, Blacksmith, and Barracks. It is going to be that Rifleman strategy with the Paladin, but this is going up against not Undead, but Orc. Perhaps Lemes didn't see that it was random, as we are going to be going Paladin first, but then again, Paladin first has become particularly popular as of late, as people have been finding new ways to, well, play human after so many years. Alright, quick shockwave comes down, gonna go straight after that Forest Troll Berserker there. Tauren Chieftain taking a little bit of damage. We're gonna take a look at the Grunt, just like sidestepping, and there's another shockwave right there, just trying to maximize that damage early on. Now, I'm sure many of you guys know that the Orc race is not one known for having a lot of mana. Mana seems to be particularly the large issue in this matchup and this fight, and because of that, because of potential mana issues, well, I'm wondering how Happy is going to play this out, as we see, well, that's a Ring of Protection +4 or Shades of Chroma Green, as the Tauren Chieftain sells a Scroll of Town Portal, picks up some healing salves, and now makes his way down across here again. Now, Shockwave does actually play well into Rifleman, as the Riflemen generally don't have that many hit points, only 535. Once you get to level 3 or particularly level 5 that level 3 Shockwave does really just rip through those units rather fast. 294 hit points left, not worth the overheal. Tauren Chieftain on the move also picks up Claws of Attack +5. Sorry, you'll just have to see what the items are based on the overlay rather than the actual game. Alright, continuing to fight their way through, Peon comes over, perhaps going to try and place down a Great Hall. Alright, so Happy going for Tauren Chieftain first and a fast expansion with Orc. I don't believe I've ever seen this particular strategy used by Orc ever, and I am curious as to how all of this is going to go down. Tauren Chieftain sold his Scroll of Town Portal to get a little bit of extra gold so that he can get this Great Hall up and running. Does have a Clarity Potion and has a Healing Salve. Perhaps should bring this Grunt a little bit back, or perhaps this Grunt is going to hang out at the Fountain of Health as well. Oh, Happy remembering all the years of, Concealed Hill. It feels like Concealed Hill has recently come back into the map pool, or has become more popular as a map as of late. But Happy bringing in those old school strategies, making sure to bring the Tauren Chieftain or the strengths for Orc. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 3. We're going to see an Arcane Tower. There is an Arcane Tower. Will the Grunts be able to get in? That is the question. There's a Shockwave ripping on through, and now trying to break through again. Tauren Chieftain has to be careful. He's trying to try and get away here. Are we going to see a Shockwave? Mana is going to be lost, and that is going to be some important mana lost as the units are trying to line back up again. All right, there's a Shockwave. There goes 2 peasants down, as the Tauren Chieftain now looks to back up here. Riflemen do not have that increased range as of yet, aren't going to be able to poke apart those units, as the Tauren Chieftain perhaps going to try to buy Boots of Speed, no, Staff of Teleportation, in order to get away. All of this is a purposeful move by Happy. Happy is purposely trying to draw attention away from his expo on the bottom right, getting into a little bit of a chase here, and we're going to be seeing, but he doesn't want to bring them all the way back home. If he brings them all the way back home, what that's going to show is that the Great Hall is still in play, and there's no tech to tier 2. Clarity potions galore. As I said, Orc is not known for having a lot of mana early on, and we're looking at the Grunts and the Riflemen just continuing to engage here. Grunt may try and retreat back. We do need to see a stronghold to try and get those Grunts out of this, out of that 700 hit point range. That additional Berserker strength, so incredibly important, as damage is going to start to rack up here. All right, low hit point Grunt down to 272 hit points. It is going to head over back to the fountain again, as a Shockwave rips on through once more. Tauren Chieftain needs a little bit. There's a Holy Light, low hit point Grunt. That Grunt going to try and retreat away. Not, ooh, able to escape at 18 hit points. There's a holy light. Tauren Chieftain still continuing a little bit of pressure there, trying to get that one down. Are we going to see this grunt be able to escape again? And wow, just microing all of those units. Shockwave could line things up. There it is. There go. Ooh, no, it does not. That rifleman able to back away, but there goes one down. All right, to the rifleman continuing to try to retreat back. Tauren Chieftain doesn't have a potion of mana. The riflemen are trying to hide behind here. And now with this, are they going to get there? Tauren Chieftain says, you know what? I can show up to this party, and I will go ahead and Staff of Teleportation out. And, well, and get those quick and easy kills. Tauren Chieftain, Clarity Potion again, buys up another one. And look at this, a whole bunch of grunts hanging out at the Fountain of Health. We are at 450 in terms of time of day. Those grunts do need to back away once they are at decent health. Oh, this could be bad. We're at 45 seconds left before daybreak, and then that means that the Drake and these units are going to be coming back around. So yeah, Happy quickly realizing the time of day and says, you know what, let's go ahead and head back out here. Siphon mana going to be on for the Paladin. That's going to be incredibly important to try and shut down this Tauren Chieftain, as the Tauren Chieftain is just playing the economic game right now. All right, we see another Arcane Tower up. Grunts are going to try and test the waters. Here we are. Here we go. They're going to try and knock down this door here. And how is all of this going to unfold? There's a Shockwave ripping on through. And, well, a little bit of damage. We are still now looking at that tech to tier 2. We're looking at the units trying to engage Tauren Chieftain pretty much out of mana. Riflemen, are they going to be able to keep that distance? There's that scroll of speed. That rifleman, well, only the low hit point rifleman should be trying to remove. There goes a grunt, a lone grunt, as we're still looking at a little bit of damage. That holy light saving another rifleman there. Siphon mana back in, low hit point units, and another grunt going to get shot down. So this has worked out fairly well so far for Lemes, as well, there's still some grunts here. The grunts are still putting pressure on that back line. The riflemen have not been able to do nearly as much damage as I expected, as the Paladin is just trying to keep this army alive and well. No more Siphon mana. We're going to look at another low hit point grunt trying to back away. There goes another low hit point grunt trying to back away again. Is that grunt going to get taken down? No, it is, but it is denied, as we should be looking at a couple of priests being trained back at home. So much micro going on here that Lemes has not been able to use his gold at tier 2 effectively to try and clear out more. There's a scroll of healing there, I believe, as the units are continuing to fight their way through. Again, are we going to see another holy light onto that rifleman? It looks like that is going to be able to stay alive. Lemes has been able to fight back off all of those grunts here. A new grunt has shown up. There's plenty of towers, but we should be looking at that Arcane Sanctum training up some units once more. Staff of Teleportation back at home. Tauren Chieftain getting in a bunch of healing salves. Clarity Potion just trying to keep these units alive. Economically speaking, remember, Happy is sitting on 2 bases. And, well, Lemes doesn't realize this yet. This could be potentially the problem, as, well, all of these grunts are now making their way through. All right, if Lemes actually clicked on these grunts, he would have seen that, well, this is mass tier 1. They don't have that berserker strength as of yet. So what does that mean? All right, there it goes, Endurance Aura. That means that those units are going to be moving slightly faster as well. Low hit point grunt able to retreat back, just trying to get a little bit of that focus fire, shoot and scoot type of thing going. They don't attack very quickly, but if you can shoot and scoot, those grunts have a little bit of a harder time trying to get anywhere, as the Paladin trying to get in front of the Tauren Chieftain, unable to, well, get a little bit of separation again. All right, more damage onto some low hit point grunts. Grunts now finally have that berserker strength, finally up to 825, as the units are continuing to retreat back, trying to stutter step their way through. We see, well, a couple of low hit point grunts finishing off a peasant down there. Not quite sure what that was about, as they're still fighting without the sorceresses and slow. I don't know what Lemes is really hoping to do here. We can see that, well, they haven't really trained anything out from that location again, as another scroll of healing used to try and save and cause a little bit of separation. All right, Blood Mage, are we going to see a scroll of healing there? Rifleman trying to hide himself off into a corner. There's some Siphon mana again. There goes another Rifleman once more. Tauren Chieftain with that Endurance Aura able to catch up with that speed again, as this low hit point Rifleman in the back, well, able to stay alive. Brethren are all there. Now Happy is sitting at 61 over 62 supply. Staff of Teleportation outbound for Happy. And Lemes may think he's doing okay, but he is not. He hasn't been able to capitalize on his tech. The economic game is not looking good. Tauren Chieftain is nearing level 4, and we are now going into Fortress with triple barracks. All right, mass grunts with a Tauren Chieftain off of 2 bases going up against Paladin Rifle. It feels like Happy is just kind of playing with his food right now, as Lemes is going to get hit with a 60, maybe even 70 supply army here in just a moment. No, he's not even going that. So look at that, triple racks by Happy. All right, grunts making their way over. Well, Fountain of Health, this is actually a location that the Paladin could easily clear out, and oh, this is not what you want to see. Just look at the sheer size. There's a shockwave ripping on through, and we're looking at some damage racking up. All right, grunts trying to retreat back here. We're going to get flanked here. Yes, purposely trying to find a narrow choke point, but without a front line, this is going to be tough. There goes a shockwave ripping on through again, trying to get in a little bit of damage. There's a Holy Light trying to save here, as well, Tauren Chieftain is losing quite a bit of mana. There's some more riflemen turning back around, trying to fight again, and now the Tauren Chieftain is finally out of mana. Paladin needs the Holy Light. The Blood Mage needs the Siphon mana, back the other way, and there goes a Shockwave, finally trying to add in some mana again. There's another Holy Light again. We're going to see a couple of grunts get taken out. Blood Mage could be in trouble, as we're looking at a little bit more damage there, down to 42 hit points, and he's able to escape. I don't know how many times we've seen low hit point units just constantly escape there. We're going to see a Holy Light onto that Rifleman. No, we do not. That grunt is going to get shot in the back. It does. Gives level 4 to the Paladin. Paladin now finally gets up to level 4. Level 2 Devotion are needed to give a little bit more additional effective hit points, as another low hit point grunt. Oh, Banish for the save there, as the units are trying to back up. Siphon mana, giving mana back to that Paladin. Paladin not going to be able, or is it going to try and Holy Light anything here? Holy Light's another unit. Sorceresses are finally giving slow, and that could be, well, the death of a bunch of grunts now, since they're not able to run away and micro nearly as quickly. There goes another Rifleman getting taken down. Paladin trying to keep this army alive. 39 supply compared to 62. Mass grunts seemingly working out well, as another Holy Light comes across here. Low hit point grunt trying to get away. Well, Rifleman trying to head back. Are they going to be able to retreat again? They do not have an easy access inside here, as the Rifleman finally, well, hides inside of the base. More Riflemen getting trained up. 41 supply compared to 65. Triple grunt production off of all of this. Meanwhile, grunts have just been, well, retreating back to this Fountain of Health pretty consistently. You can see that they are all back up at full health here, and yeah, Happy is just absolutely dominating this fight with mass grunts and abusing the map. Grunts coming back with full hit points the other way. Lemes being forced to retreat back. One Rifleman not able to get out, and now we're looking at a level 5 Tauren Chieftain. We are at Fortress. Are we going for, yes, level 3 weapons upgrade? So this is just mass tier 1, but with now going towards 3-2 upgrades, maybe eventually 3-3 if given enough time. Grunts ready to dive on into this position here. Are we going to... there's a shockwave ripping on through a little bit of damage. There's also even pillage on these grunts. So the grunts do have pillage, and they're going to be able to just perhaps break through and knock this all down. Grunts dealing 23 to 32 damage per attack. That's going to be fairly, well, that's really high with those upgrades. Blacksmith going to get shut down here, and Lemes is going to find himself in, well, find himself on the receiving end of too much damage. Tauren Chieftain says, you know what, I don't need to stick around. I'm going to go ahead and back up, and I'm going to regroup here. There's some healing salves. There's a clarity potion. Tauren Chieftain perhaps purposely went to tier 3 to gain a bonus experience on that Tauren Chieftain, since he is a solo hero at this stage, meaning he could even get into reincarnation and get back into this game. Blood Mage purposely pulling away. Rifleman and Paladin gonna try and insert themselves right here, and then by inserting themselves right here, perhaps create a little bit of separation away from everything else. Meanwhile, Blood Mage needs to siphon mana, yes, from that Forest Troll High Priest, get that mana off, taking down some of those units. Paladin may be able to get to level 4, but look at the size of this army. And look at the upgrades on this army. Are we going into tier? Nope, we're not going to level 3 weapons upgrade yet, but they are 3-2 upgraded. Those grunts are dealing a lot of damage and actually attack quickly because of the Tauren Chieftain's Endurance Aura. That was level 3 Endurance Aura over level 3 Shockwave. If you were keeping track, my apologies for not spotting that earlier. I was wondering how these grunts are attacking so quickly and moving so fast. That's the reason why. And now adding in a Scroll of Speed. So Endurance Aura to try and counteract that Sorceress slow. And you can see how fast all of these units are attacking. Alright, average attack speed even when they slow is cast on them because of that Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain also relatively low, well, perhaps knowing that mana is always going to be an issue. Grunts are getting taken down. Paladin could get to level 5 here. Blood Mage already sitting at level 3, getting a little bit of separation on that slow, trying to rack up more damage, but there's that Scroll of Healing again as a Shockwave rips on through. No siphon mana. That was actually a mistake by Lemes to not siphon mana there, as a Rifleman does get shut down. Grunts are still pushing their way through again. Grunts are knocking down on the front door. Peasant isn't even repairing. Lemes is just retreating back and happy with a fun game here, taking down units and showing, well, how to min-max with just one hero and one unit type. This must have been some sort of bounty game. Choose one hero, one unit, and be able to win. I wonder what would have happened if, well, if a human actually went for air. Would there be a way that he could come away with a victory here, as the units are now falling back to the Fountain of Health to try and fight back again? All right, fighting at a Fountain of Health generally favors those who can either A, focus fire, or B, have larger health pools. This is a strange spot because the grunts themselves have larger health pools, so they're regenerating faster, but the riflemen are actually able to shoot and try to focus down units. Alright, unit after unit is going to be falling here. You can see that grunt holding steady at 280 hit points. More grunts now making their way back over. 32 supply compared to 71. Yeah, Lemes really doesn't have a leg to stand on in this fight. More grunts making their way here, trying to dive in. You can see that grunt is regenerating hit points so quickly as the riflemen are trying to move around here. Staff of Teleportation gonna go ahead and regroup. Devotion Aura for the Blood Mage, not the item that he wanted. Low hit point grunts now finally having a Fountain of Health that they can use during the day. And Happy is sitting at full upgrades on these grunts now, 3-3. So if you ever wondered what a Tauren Chieftain mass grunt army looked like in a professional or semi-pro Warcraft 3 game, this is it. Tauren Chieftain does have a Scroll of Town Portal. If he does want to try and back away, you can take a look. All of these little murlocs here, I guess they could engage Tauren Chieftain. Does he want to try and fight any of these units? These grunts, remember, are upgraded 3-3, so they do deal far more damage. Mass grunts, 80 supply worth of grunts here. Overlord going to get taken down. Perhaps give a Warsong Battle Drums? No, Medallion of Courage, Strength and Intelligence, just what the Doctor ordered, as the Tauren Chieftain looks to finish off these Ogre Magi, and Forest Troll High Priest. Main gold mines don't have much gold left. We're looking at an Arcane Vault trying to be built. Riflemen trying to make their rounds come back out. A Paladin has no way of easily healing. And Happy is just really trying to make sure that he doesn't lose units if possible. All right, units trying to retreat back. Look at this mass grunt. This is like swarming with grunts. This looks kind of scary. You would normally see this with mass ghouls trying to swarm a position, but you know, well, ghouls are not nearly as strong. These grunts, 825 hit points each, able to deal large amounts of damage. This just looks like a strange army. Mass grunts diving in on that position. Let me know what you guys thought about this strange game here in the comments below.